Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Namrata.
Welcome to our podcast, and it's lovely having you here. And I would like to know how's your life now?
And thank you for calling me here. Life is good, always great. And yeah, lovely to be here today and talk to you.
Thank you so much. So, Sarah, I would like to know, when did you get married?
I got married in 2006 in
2006.
July.
Okay.
So we just had the 18th anniversary last Sunday.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what was your age that time?
I was around 28. So
28,
yeah, so
okay.
I was working and my husband is also from the same company. So
Okay.
we met each other in the office. We were dating each other for almost 4 years before we got married.
Oh, wow. So, after marriage, you planned your family immediately or you took some time?
I think we didn't plan as such, but of course, like I was almost 28, so I didn't want to delay it much further.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I was pregnant quite after the marriage. So
Okay.
I had my first baby in the 2007. So
Okay, immediately.
Immediately, yeah.
Okay. So means मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगी, you're comfortable in Hindi?
Yeah.
So मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगी कि आपने जब कंसीव किया, so how was your reaction? Means what was your first reaction when you get to know कि आप pregnant हो?
बहुत खुश तो नहीं थी because I just got married and within 3 months I think I came to know कि
Okay,
मैं
conceived.
I have conceived and I was tensed कि अभी कैसे चलेगा, like I have a very new family and then काम भी है, I was working, उसमें छुट्टी लिया है तो यहाँ पे कैसे छुट्टी मिलेगा, तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा था दिमाग में and financially also we didn't plan for a baby very soon. But anyways, I mean, taking in everything into consideration and doctor's advice also, we went along for the pregnancy. So, but I'm very thankful कि I did that, कि ऐसा हम लोगों ने डिसीजन लिया है कि क्योंकि मैंने देखा है बहुत सारे बोलते हैं कि नहीं अभी थोड़े दिन टाइम दे दो बाद में, बट मुझे लगा ठीक है चलेगा. आई मीन नाउ आई फील मे बी दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम आई वाज थिंकिंग कि इट माइट नॉट बी अ गुड डिसीजन, बट हो गया तो हो गया, ऐसा हुआ तो it was a good thing. Yeah.
So how was your pregnancy journey? Means
so pregnancy was quite uneventful. It was good. I mean, it was not bad, but according from my health on, but there was a concern about the baby's health.
Okay.
So when I was in the 5th month or so, and there are a lot of USGs and the baby's thing has to be done. So in one of that, it came like he had a problem with the kidney. So the polycystic kidney syndrome he was detected with.
Okay.
So I had to undergo every month scanning for the baby, like how it's improving.
Okay.
But everything was fine. There was no problem. But the cyst actually existed, and as one of the doctors even said that probably the baby will not survive of its own. Because of the mother now it's surviving, but after it's independent it might not. So there was actually a decision which I had to make, that whether I abort or I continue my pregnancy. But anyways, I again took a decision in my life that let's see. I mean, it was already in the 6th or 7th month. So there is no point of aborting because it's almost like delivering, right, in the 7th month. So but thankfully after the delivery we saw everything was fine, and one of the doctors even told me that some male babies have that detection. Like many of them are detected with a polycystic kidney, and most of them are like male babies. So actually I didn't know it was, and we don't get to know, right? So but finally it was all fine. So he is also very fine. So we went after his delivery, after my delivery, he was kind of followed up like 1-2 years, and there was no problem. Nothing. It was all fine.
Yeah, that was great. Means it would be difficult that you take the decision that you have to abort or keep the baby.
Exactly.
Means everybody want a stable baby.
Right.
The growth should be good. So it was means it might be a great concern for you.
Yeah, and not only me, even my family members. I still remember. I don't have my parents, but my Mossy, my auntie, is very close to us. to me, and she came during my delivery. And when the doctors, I actually didn't tell it to my family.
Okay.
So it was only between me and my husband, because we know that whatever will happen, we have to accept it. So we
Yes,
were
yeah.
all mentally very prepared. But when she came to know, and she like started crying and thinking what will happen, but I think everything went off fine, and I was also in my mind very sure that nothing will happen, everything will be fine. But of course, during pregnancy, already you are low mentally, you don't know
Yes.
what is coming up. And I was supposed to go to Calcutta for delivery, but I didn't go because the doctors here were more supportive in Bangalore, and I thought, let me stay here for the delivery.
Right.
So yeah, that was a phase. I think I mean, we had to take a decision, and sometimes I feel now that okay, God is there and had helped us to take the decision.
Yeah. So we can call it a mother instinct.
Maybe, I think so. Yeah.
Mother instinct worked, and you
Right.
were very positive about.
Right.
And yes, end of the day, faith works.
Right.
So you have faith in God.
Right. So actually, I'll tell you, I mean, that's the sarcasm of the story. So initially, I didn't want the baby.
Yeah.
As I said, I conceived
Yes,
very
yes,
early,
yes, right.
soon after my marriage. So I didn't want the baby, but then doctor said, no, it's not good to abort the first child. It gives lot of complications.
Okay.
So you should go ahead. And when there was a second thing where aborting a baby came, then I was very firm that no, I don't want the baby to be aborted. Let's accept whatever comes in. So,
Right.
so you know, that is the story of my first pregnancy.
Okay, so-
And also second one also has a story. So I think none of the pregnancies are easy.
Okay, and what's the second one? Means
Second one, the baby was again all fine.
okay.
But at that point in time, I was detected with hypothyroidism. So I had a high thyroid level, like
right.
46 instead of the 6, what was the standard.
Okay.
And I was having a very low hemoglobin and all, but I didn't understand. But then during the pregnancy test, I came to know that I was suffering from here. So, and thyroidism comes with a lot of effects on the baby as well, and on the pregnancy. And of course, I was a little aged. I was in the early 30s that time, so 34 around. I mean, along with that, I was working, and I was working in the lab. So that is again little more stressful. The first pregnancy, I didn't find any problem, but because of certain reason, I think mostly because of thyroid, that's what the doctor said. I had bleeding starting in the 6th month. So I was working in the lab, and then all of a sudden I could feel that I'm bleeding all over. And then I was admitted, and then I was kind of asked to take bed rest. And I cannot, because I have been working all my life, and almost 1 month I was supposed to be taking bed rest, but I used to do like household work, something moving around here and there. And then again the same thing repeated around the 7th month. So bleeding, yeah, heavy bleeding. And then the doctor said we cannot take a chance. So we have to go for delivery.
In the 7th month?
In the 7th month. So my second one is 7th month born, and he was in NICU for a month. So they don't release the baby until it's 32 weeks. So then it was like 1 month I used to, and he was born in Apollo Panerghata Road in Bangalore. So I used to go from Electronic City and feed the baby and come back daily, every day. So for a month I did that, and then we brought the baby home. But health-wise he was all fine, because sometimes again doctors and people say that 7th month boy baby are very unstable. They are not kind of, they don't live longer. I mean, they don't survive.
This is suggested by the doctors also?
For the
7-month baby means there are some myth also.
Myth, it's not the doctor, it's the myth. I'm saying, no, not doctors, I would say. Because it's like in the, I mean, they had taken the decision to deliver because I was not well, right? So I think the doctors wouldn't have told that also. It was 7th month.
It was a midwife saying that, okay,
right.
There are many myths circulating, so this is one of them.
Right, right. I mean, we hear myths saying that 7-month boys actually don't survive. But I think I have not seen any difference between a preterm baby and the baby who is like on term. Like both of my kids are one on time and other is a preterm, but there is no difference as such. So.
Okay. So, did you know why the bleeding was there? Means because of stress or anything?
It was probably for stress and also thyroid, as I said, creates a lot of issues because you have undergo a hormonal change, right? So, so I think that was the reason which the doctor said. I mean, they were also not very sure, but of course, yeah, there was, and my probably the uterus also was kind of low. Second time.
Because in my second pregnancy, my uterus was low-lying placenta. It's
right.
So it was in my case, and they advised me to take bed rest. But means I was not working that time, so I was at home. But still, not complete bed rest. I never took.
Right.
They told me that might be bleeding will be there if you don't take proper rest, and placenta is low-lying, so it might affect the baby. So these things they told me.
Right. So I think the same thing. It was a low-lying placenta and also thyroid along with that high kind of thyroid, and then
eventually the placenta comes up. So in my case, it was after 8 months. Means when I completed my 8th month, my 9th month started. Then the placenta was automatically it was up and the baby was down.
Right.
So they told me that this will eventually happen. But they were not sure.
Right. So for maybe I didn't reach the 7th, 8th month. So maybe it happens. I am not very sure. And as I said, I mean, second time my age was also near 35. So there are a lot of complications which comes with age. Depends on each individual body because I have seen my friends conceiving later than me, but still everything was all fine.
Right. Yeah, in Bollywood also they are conceiving so late.
And actually one of my boss just conceived and delivered at 46. So you don't know.
46?
46. So it was, she was like, I don't know if it's an IV thing, but she was struggling for a long time. And soon, like a few months back, we came to know that she has a girl baby. So she's 46. So I mean, it depends again.
Body to body, it's different. Means nothing can be said that this is the thing you have to follow and all.
Right.
I totally agree with you. Depends upon. So how was your motherhood journey?
Yeah, so motherhood was again, because I was working probably, I really can't stay at home. For me, it is like very much into work and you go out and travel and all those things. So initially I was kind of, when after the delivery, I was not kind of very happy that I'm staying at home and taking care of the baby all the while. Because of course, I mean, I think this is a thing for many working women probably, I would say that when you get in and you are taking care of the baby, you feel, oh my God, because I have spoken to some of them and I understand, then they feel, oh, I'm not doing anything useful and I'm just being at home and doing, but household work is also important, which we sometimes forget, and we miss that. So initial days were a little difficult for me because the baby used to cry and get up in the night and no sleep, I mean sleepless nights, and all mother go through that. But I think eventually it went through, and by I think when he was like 5th month, I again joined back to office. So that was again a balance between motherhood and office work. So I was more.
So you joined quite early, means generally everyone take a 6 months break at
So in my time, there was, in private companies, there were only a 3 months maternity leave. So we used to get 3 months, and then I had like 2 months of earned leave, which I clubbed and made 5 months. So, and for the second baby also, it was the same thing, but I was much more prepared mentally. I know what was coming up. But for the first one, I was no clue. It was like you don't know what is happening and why the baby is crying, when you have to feed, when you have to.
So you don't have any help at home, means?
That time I had though. So what happened was, as I said, I couldn't go to Calcutta for the delivery. But my mother-in-law also came to be with me for a month. Then she had to leave because because one of my sister-in-law was delivering, so
Okay,
she had to go
right.
back, and then I went back to Calcutta. So there I was with my sister, and I had maids along helping,
Right.
and my sister also had her mother-in-law, so I had a kind of support.
Okay.
And after like 5th month or so, I came back to Bangalore again, and I
Okay.
had a maid who used to take care of my kid.
Oh, okay.
For the second baby, I had my mother-in-law staying with me that time.
Okay.
So, and I also had a maid. So I had a support system
Okay.
on that. Yeah, along with.
So, yeah, means only the challenge you face that for initial
Right.
days, everybody have the challenge why the baby is crying, nobody knows.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, means apart from that you never faced any
No,
challenge.
right, yeah.
as such,
And
okay.
yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Like, I used to always think, oh, when the baby will grow and able to speak. But I never knew that that condition will grow still now. Now also we have a problem. I mean, every mother and the kid will have the thing, right?
Right.
Something or the other comes up. Like,
Yeah, right.
if it's not walking or you're talking or something or the other issue will be always
there. And I have realized when the kids are growing up, the problems are also
growing.
bigger.
Those are much major
Yeah,
than
exactly.
what we have in the initial
Means
days.
initial days you have only why the baby is crying, why he's not taking the feed,
Right, why is vomiting, because my kid
Exactly.
used to vomit a lot.
So these are the small problems. As they grow up, the problems are also growing
Right,
up,
right.
and the bigger problems we
Bigger
have.
problems we have.
You're also facing the same
Yeah,
challenge.
same, I think. Yeah, now they both of them are teenage, and both are boys, so I know
Okay.
how it is like. But of course, I mean, we are like an open family. We I mean, believe that if you have an open relationship with the kids, it must be better in this scenario, because now the kids are exposed to so many things.
Yes.
So if we scold them, don't allow them to tell what they are thinking, I think it's not a good idea.
Means
So
we should be upfront.
upfront, yeah, whatever we are doing, it should be in front of them. If you are hiding something, I think the kids also starts hiding
things.
Also, I feel if we scold them and tell them much not to do this, not to tell them do this, do that, then of course they will do. Like we were kids, we were also doing the same thing, but that time the age was different. Now the age is different, so I think now it's better that they tell us what they are doing. It's best to know.
So I think in today's scenario, it's better to be a friend rather than
a parent.
right? Because I think they don't have friends also.
Right.
We used to have friends. We used to share things with our friend, but I don't think in today's scenario they have a friend, means whom they can rely.
Right.
You're also facing the
same thing. I think they have friends. What I see is my kids. I mean, they have of course school friends, and then in the wherever we are staying, they have friends there also, but not to that extent. They are mostly into tabs and the TVs and all those, not like how we used to spend time, go out, have picnic with friends, and because there was nothing like a electronic media at this point. So I think friendship has gone down lesser what we had in our generation.
Okay. So since we know that you are a working woman and you have been working, you have never taken a break. So how did you strike a balance between your work and your motherhood?
So I think, I mean, that is the thing, what I realized over the years. So when you are at work, you have to work. When you are at home, you have to dedicate time at home. Of course, that is from my side, but I would say that I had a very great support system. So when the elder one was born, probably I didn't have anyone from my home when I was going to office, but I have my maid who was taking care, and she took a good care of him. For the second one, my mother-in-law was also there, and I had a maid again, and who could see and look after both the kids, because that time I had both of them, and one was 4.5 and one was just born. So I think the support system worked well for me. My in-laws were also very supportive in terms of that, and I never found a challenge. Of course, I was in the labs that time when I was working, so it was mostly a timely job. Like I used to go into office at 8 o'clock, come back by 5 o'clock, and there were flexibility, of course, because when the kid was not well or something, I used to come home, take him to the doctor, again go back to work. So those kind of flexibility at work also was there. And of course, now I feel now because I have moved on from the scientist to a different role of sales and business development. It's more taxing right now, but now I feel my kids are more, I mean, they have grown up, they do everything by themselves,
they are
get
independent
ready,
enough.
yeah, so they're independent. So, and I would say I give that to my husband, because I am always like any other mother, very protective, overprotective, I would say. So I would tell my kids, okay, put this jacket, go out, it's cold outside. So my husband is always used to tell me that don't do, let them get adjusted to the weather. They should be left as it is. So if they have cold, next day they will get an immunity, they will not get cold. And I used to feel bad, because every mother is, I think, overprotective about their kid, right? So but then when I started traveling, actually I stopped doing that, because I cannot monitor so much about the kids. So yeah, that made them more independent. So they get ready by themselves, they go to school by themselves in the morning. I don't do anything, because 15 days if I'm doing and 15 days if I'm not doing, then it doesn't make sense. So right now I've stopped doing anything. I think that made them more independent.
Okay. So when you were at the lab, so you have that flexibility and everything, that you can come home and everything. You told us, and the working hours also, it was not that much.
Yeah, not
now
stretched.
that now that you are in development, sales development, business development, you said, business development, you're there, so you are moving, you're going to other countries, you're visiting other places. So how you are managing now? Means, do you feel that if you're not at home, it is a vacuum for your kids?
I don't think so. I think, I mean, when the kids are smaller, you need more of your mother's time. But when your kids grow up, they have their own friend circle, they have the studies, and they, of course, if mother is there, that's a different thing altogether. But if I'm not there also, I don't think so they kind of miss me so much, because they have school. So morning they go to school, they come back in the afternoon, then they have their tuitions to take care, study by themselves, then they go out for playing with the friends. So they have a kind of a routine life. And of course, in my house, apart from me, husband is there, and then I have my husband's niece also staying with us. So she takes again a good amount of care for them. So, and also on the weekends, I have friends coming in, I have relatives coming in. So there is a kind of a people around. So they don't usually miss me if I'm not there as well. So, and I think they got habituated also.
So at what age they were, means when you shifted to this business development?
So it was around 5 years back. So my elder one must be around, if he's 17, so 12
years. Okay. Means he was quite he was entering into his teen.
Right.
Okay. So not much, means he must, means what I realize, in teens they want to spend some time with
themselves. I think we as parents tend to oversee everything, but I think they need their own space as well. So,
so what I am feeling, that they need their space. Please don't interfere. I am grown up. These things
I can take my own decision.
These things have started now. So the same thing must be with you.
And actually, I think nothing against Bengali moms, but I think we are very overprotective. We don't allow, even if you want to wear the clothes, we make a choice for them. But I think we should let them make their own choices. And that I have learned mostly from my husband. As I said, I mean, he was also instrumental in leaving them and telling them, okay, let them fall, and then they will learn from there. I was again holding them back. But then as I realized, my work also actually supported that. I was, I mean, at a very young age, we actually made them sleep alone. So again, in Indian scenario, usually we don't. We tend to cling. But if you see in outside world, in US or Europe, they have the baby separated from the initial days. So they try to make them more independent. But I think Indian mentality, we have that thing that we want to protect our kids and make them overprotective. So I remember the first time, I made them sleep alone in the bed. I was like, couldn't sleep in the night. I was thinking, why my kids are not there with me? I mean, it was. But then, as I said, it's a habit, right? I used to go in the night, see, they are sleeping fine and coming back. So I think those kind of things, detachment, because at the end of the day, after I'm seeing for most of the kids now, after 10th or 12th, they are going again either for studies outside
Yeah.
or for work outside. So then we will be kind of lonely.
Yes.
So if you can try that out initial days, then it will be, you will have your own space of doing, and your kids will be happy and you will be happy, is what my takeaway from you.
Okay. No, means I really appreciate that, because being a mom, I'm too overprotective and I cannot leave my kids with anyone. Means I have seen this is happening to me.
Right.
But now I have started, I
you
have
will
to
feel
leave.
bad. I'm saying you will feel bad, but you have to let go. I mean, that's what I feel.
No, I have started now that no, I have to leave them. I have to make them independent, because after 4 or 5 years they will be living in a hostel, and they have to learn that.
And if you don't make them, then they will be very dependent on you for everything. I mean, outside world is very challenging and bad. So then other people will take advantage of them if they are not very strong enough. So I think, this is all on ourselves. And as I said, I mean, we tend to be overprotective. With the kids.
So, I totally agree with now I have started. Earlier, I was also in the same, I was lying in the same category. I'm very protective. No, wear this jacket. It's cold. I can totally relate what you were saying.
Because I put the monkey cap and all those. Oh, it's windy. Bangalore weather is not good. You will fall sick. And actually, I make them pack their own suitcase. Now, if I'm going somewhere, I said we will have all separate. Whatever you want, you choose. You should not go and tell me I have not brought, because that gives them the ownership as well as responsibility. So I have started doing that. And my elder one can cook also. So if I am not at home, they can actually survive by themselves. So again, I have seen some of my friends doing, so they used to leave the kid and go for a me time, I mean the husband and the wife. So we also started doing that just for a night. I mean, they will be happy because they are all by themselves. And we are also giving them the space, and we also have the own space. So because again, as a husband wife, we don't get time for each other. So that also is important. So I think it's a balance between how you deal with the kids.
Means when the first time you left them alone, they were not scared?
No, they were not scared. You know, our society is very good. So we know, okay, they will come back home. So they were by themselves. Even now, I mean, now we have made it more like frequently, like if they have exams. So many a times it happens that we have some invitation from the village or wherever my husband is there. We can't attend because they have exam. So now we leave them, okay, you study and we go. I mean, I know it sounds very different because Indian society
but I totally appreciate this because I'm telling you, long back when I was in my 8th standard and I had my exams, and my Bua's son, he had his marriage that time. So my parents had the invitation, they went there, and I was alone at home. With my grandmom. So this is very good because my mother was a working woman. So I was living alone at home. Means most of the time I was alone with my grandmom. So I can totally understand. But with me, I
think most of the moms, even I see my sister, I mean, they are more into their studies. But what I feel, you know, at a certain point, a person will do how much ever what you cannot force them doing.
But I totally agree with you that if you leave them, they be independent. Because I was in my hostel, I never needed anyone because I was into habit that I have to do all the things by my own. So thanks to my mom. So your kids will thank you later that they are independent from the childhood. So it's good.
I think it works out well, and you will also can, of course, maybe my work.
Why I'm saying this, you said that I might be sounding different. No, you are sounding absolutely right to me.
Okay, thankfully.
You start now whenever I'm not at home.
Fire one, like making sandwiches and all those Maggi.
So he knows how to cook on fire also, means he can light the gas.
He can do, I mean, it's the normal, you just press the thing button and you get. So he can make Maggi, he can make chapati. I mean, at least buy the chapati, you get ready-made chapatis also. So you can heat it up, and all those things he can do.
Ready to eat.
And the elder one also, younger one also can make sandwiches. So sometimes I'm in calls and he's hungry. I'll say, okay, make something by yourself. So I don't have the time. So he will make sandwiches by himself with the toaster and all of it.
Right.
So
It's great. Means I loved it. And seriously, I appreciate what you're doing. Means I will definitely implement.
right. I mean, you feel initially bad that you are not doing what you are supposed to do, but I think you are also giving to the society, because your work you are giving to the society, and your I mean, of course, your kids are also
You
learning.
have this feeling at the back of your mind that I'm qualified so much, but I'm wasting my
wasting
time.
my
And
what you like to do. I mean, you know,
exactly.
everybody I know, and I respect also some actually some girls actually like to do household. They like to do something for the room, I mean, for the kids. That is their liking. But again, some girls are very much outward into the working style side. So I've seen they suffer actually when they are not able to get what they are actually wanting to do. So that's what. But of course, the support system is very required. I would say I'm very lucky in that way, that I have a very good family. I mean, in-laws are very good, supportive in that way, and but not many girls are, I know, having that support.
True. So now coming to your career wise, so it's how long you are working now?
So I started in 2002, and this is 2024. So 22 years.
22 years. Okay. So how was your journey? Means we have asked about your motherhood. Now we are coming to your work. So means how is your work culture, and how you have, means did you face challenge there?
Of course, there have been, but I think I mean, it was a good learning. Again, I started in 2002. As a chemist. So I did my master's in organic chemistry from Calcutta University, and I was selected in the campus, and I joined the organization called Syngene International in Bangalore, and it was a very small organization at that point in time. So I joined as a trainee scientist over there, and over the years I've grown up the ladder, and then I became a team leader in the same organization.
So you're saying that you have been in the first organization which you joined, and since then you were about 2 decades you were there only.
In the same company.
In the same company.
So I just changed the company last year. So that was my first job change. So in 21 years I was in the same company.
Great. Means it's remarkable. Means nowadays people tend to switch the company within a year.
Right. I mean, of course there are things, as I said, maybe motherhood took me a back step, because I have to be, I cannot just find a new job where I was like give more than what is required. So when you are in a company, you settle, you are comfortable, and everything good about the company. As I said, there was flexibility in work, so which is much required for when you have a kid, small kid at home. So you can go, you can take off, and so all those flexibility were always there. And I think that's what helped me. So until the kids were kind of 12 years or so, I didn't take a risk of going or moving anywhere else. And but having said that, my husband is in that company still now. So he is like 24 years, 25 years he's been there. So as a company, Syngene was always good with the employees. So I think that's what made us stay. And then I moved on to business development after 17 years in the lab, which was a new area for me, because I was never done anything other than science. So it was more of a sales and sales activity of and also developing the business in Europe and Asia, in US. And I think after the fifth year, I left Syngene, because I got an opportunity to with a smaller company. Of course, it was I wouldn't say a startup, but around 150 employees company, where I was asked to build the business development team from scratch. So
that was a great opportunity,
right? So I could actually showcase my whatever skills I learned over the 5 years to this company. So I head the business development team over there. So when I went there was nothing, but now we have a 7-member team. And we are doing quite well. So that was a very good learning for me, because I could actually showcase the skills which I have acquired in my last organization.
So since you said that you are into pharma, right? So what was your experience during Corona? Means how did you work? Means you have a lab also. Means your company has a lab. So how the people were working and how they did the work actually?
Right. So actually, I mean, again, pharma is a sector where even incident like COVID cannot actually do anything, because you
Yeah.
need medicine at
Right,
every point
right.
in time. I know people who got affected business wise, everything like travel, hospitality got affected.
Right.
But actually it boomed. I mean, the pharma industry boomed at that time because people required vaccine, and
Yes.
vaccine was, every other company were searching and thinking how to bring a new vaccine during
Okay.
that point in time.
Right, right.
So we actually got a lot of requests. I mean, we were working overtime, and then again, as you said, people like IT company, they started working from home,
right.
because there was an option. But for the people in the labs, the scientists, they cannot, because they have to be physically
Right.
present. Those the company, and not only Syngene but other companies as well, took up that working in shifts, so that they
Okay.
can mitigate the footfall at certain time. So
Okay.
they divided the groups, and whoever, like people like us, I was already in the business development team, like in the enabling function,
Right.
who doesn't require to be present physically,
Okay.
were asked to work from home,
Okay.
so that we were not in the labs increasing
Right,
the
right,
footfall
right,
again.
right.
So then during that point in time, there were canteens also. There were several makeshift canteens which came up. So every building had a different canteen, so that people don't go to a larger, bigger canteen and mess up over there, talk to people. People couldn't go from one building to another. They were kind secluded in the same building with badges, colored badges.
Okay.
So they were made sure that they don't go to the other building, so that again you don't mess up with the footfall over there.
Right.
So there were a lot of restrictions which came up. We didn't travel for almost 1.5 years because US was not allowing us, or other European countries. From 2000, I think 2020 beginning till 2021 November, we were not allowed. We used to work from home. Again, that was again a change, because as I said, I cannot stay at home. I have to go somewhere out and work, meet people, mingle with them, talk to them. So it was kind of a depression for me, that I'm sitting at home, I am not able to talk, and all on the Teams, having virtual meetings. But then again, we got used to like 3-4 months, and then now I'm happy working from home. So, so it's all like habit. So that's how we made. But yes, our work more increased, because you are not meeting people, because we have to convince client to get business. That we used to do over the email. So we have to write emails, we have to set up meetings, and video calls, conferences. Our work was like 24/7. It became, we never knew where time is going on, and I think that actually we can see in the health of, because we were sitting all day and we were not working. So initially, that also was a change, but what we took. So initially we used to have 3 course a meal, and then sit and gain weight. So we gained a lot of weight. So health issues started creeping up. Then we thought, okay, when you are at home, when you are not working, not going out, you have to take less of food. You cannot eat food whatever you were eating previously. So all kind of, then you have to do some kind of exercise, yoga, or whatever you do to keep yourself healthy. So those kind of again changes happened, I think, during Corona.
Okay. So this brings to me the next question which I want to ask. So when you initially started moving out, means after the Corona, you have to travel abroad.
Right.
So how was the scenario at that time?
Oh, the first travel I made was as soon as the borders were opened, the US border. So we had a lot of restriction. First of all, we had to have the RT-PCR test done before 24 hours of travel. So luckily Syngene had their own RT-PCR testing center. So it was here. So we used to get it done within a year, and we used to get the result. And that has to be shown to the airlines, whichever you are traveling.
So it was only 24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh.
It was not even 48. So it was 24 hours. Yeah. So you have to get it done in the morning, and then get the result by afternoon or evening, and then fly out. So because I mean, you can get COVID positive by any time. It was so bad that time. And then you have to show, and then you can travel. I mean, US or other European countries would allow.
So your first travel was into US?
In November 2022.
Okay, so it was to US.
US, yeah.
Okay, and US scenario was very bad.
Very bad, and I still remember. I mean, when we started, of course, there were masks and all necessary things which we used to do, and even the companies we used to visit. Somewhere we used to show the certificate, the vaccination certificate. Then, so there were those things were must. So you have to have 2 vaccine certificate from Indian government. Secondly was your RT-PCR test. Apart from that, there were companies who used to have rat test. I mean, then and then they used to test you for COVID. So in case you just imagine, if you just test positive, then you are stuck in US.
Exactly.
So it was a horrible time, but of course we came out through that. And even when you have to come back to India, you have to again do an RT-PCR test again 24 hours. And that was a difficult part, because here you know whom to call and how to get the result, but not there. So and you lose. I mean, if you don't get the result, the airline will not allow you to board. So it was kind of costly as well as difficult times over there. And then we have that I don't remember, maybe it was Air Suvidha or something, where you have to fill up the form and then submit, and then the Indian government would allow you in. So those things were kind of, I think until 1 year it was there, and then later part of 22 it went off. I mean 23 it went off.
So after you came back to India, so you were going to your home, or because of the fear that you
No, I was coming back.
You are coming, okay. So there was no fear that I might infect my kids or anything?
No, because we were doing RT-PCR, right, while just before hours, coming out again.
Okay. So it was never in your mind?
No, it was
because during Corona I was very scared. Maybe I'm not in pharma.
No, you are right. And moreover, my husband was going to office daily. So so it was like and good thing about Syngene was they were having, I mean, during the second wave mostly. First wave was not that bad. Second wave, they used to have a test every Friday for all the employees to test whether they're positive or not. So randomly, each and everything, and if they tested positive, then that whole lab was kind of secluded. So that was also a kind of a thing that they used to restrict the lab movement. So if one person is positive, then the entire lab is like taken care. So they used to tell, okay, be there at home for 2 days and before you come to office. So that's how they managed. And I was like, every Saturday I used to think, okay, the test is coming, because my husband was again a very carefree guy. He never cared whether he will have corona or not. Not many restrictions or washing hand, these, that. So I used to just pray to God that let him not have, then all of us will have, because we all 3 of us were at home. He was the one who was going out. So anyways, so Saturdays we used to get the result, and okay, this week we are saved. So because they were into that field, right? And there were a lot of people. When you meet people, when you are along, like I really feel for the healthcare, like doctors and all, the way they and their families were going through, because they were getting exposed to the people.
That time they were the soldiers.
Right. So because now I feel many of us were just sitting at home. So we are all safe. But people who are going around outside, they were so much exposed. So,
so I would like to ask, what exactly your company does?
So right now also I am in a company, as I said, it is not a startup. It's called Symbolizing India Private Limited. It's also the same type of company what Syngene is. It's a contract research organization. So we support the biotech companies, the pharma companies in the US and the Europe. With advanced intermediates and all those what is required for a drug to be in the market. So they outsource us their job, because they are US and Europe pharma companies outsource a lot to Indian and Chinese companies, because it's mostly cost effective in terms of labor and cheap labor and money. So that's how we support them in that aspects.
Okay. Now coming to your next, the most important thing you do is socio-culture activities which you are doing. You are a part of a team where you perform puja, Durga Puja.
Right.
So Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So again, I mean, you know, when you are into job, when you are into family, you need some kind of a stress buster.
Right.
So I think that's how this thing came up. So we started Agrani Socio-Cultural Association, what we say.
Agrani socio-culture.
Right.
Okay.
So we call it in short ASCA because it's a big
ASCA.
name.
Okay.
So we just framed it because we thought that we will do something for the social cause for the people.
Okay.
But it mostly started with celebrating Durga Puja, which is the main puja for Bengalis.
Okay.
So we started in 2011 in October we started, and that's the same year my second kid was born. So yeah, so because I couldn't do much on that time because I was pregnant and I was not keeping well. So from then we we celebrated every year till now. Even during the COVID years we didn't stop, so we did in a smaller scale. So this is mostly the 5 days puja, and I'm the secretary for the association for the last 5-6 years. And this also helps kind of we do planting trees for donations of books. We recently did we gave the what you call that breakfast to a school in Jayanagar, so we can sponsor the breakfast and all those. So we do all those activities as well, apart from the Durga Puja which we do. We also do collecting old clothes so that we can give to the homeless and yeah. So those kind of activities, and actually I mean all of us are working. So I think that actually is a stress buster for all of us, that we are doing something apart from what we are doing in the office or at home.
Means being a mother, you are at home, you are at office, you are also traveling abroad, and now you are doing this. So means, do you have 18 hands like Goddess Durga?
No,
I'm asking you this question.
Yeah, no, I think you can do, everybody can do everything if you have a good time management. So you know what I do, and of course I'm also studying now, so I'm a student. So I'm doing my management course from IIM Calcutta, which requires a lot of my time right now, because though it's an online course, but they have exams and campus immersion twice. So I just did one and one is coming up. So that also requires a lot of
from IIM Bangalore.
IIM Calcutta.
IIM Calcutta.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of my time.
So you have to go to Calcutta?
Calcutta. So I went once in last May, it was there, and once it's coming up in September.
Okay.
So every week I have to spend time, and then it's not the spending time, you have to study because there are exams. I mean, and it's not easy to pass those exams, and you have to have pass those exams with the 75% attendance. So that also is taking a lot of my time right now. But what I feel is, if you can manage your day time in a way that you give everything, like what I do is I switch off and switch on. I know, I mean, when I have exams I have to switch off from the entire thing. Then again when I have my work coming up, I have to give entirely to the thing. So I maintain a good, I have a diary as well, so I maintain the to-do things very well, keep it all, okay, I have to do this, I have to call that. And because sometimes, you know, you don't, when you have a lot of things on your head, you don't remember what you are actually doing. So I maintain a good diary. I think everybody should do that, because sometimes again you have to maintain your socio-cultural activities, you have to maintain your relationships, you have to have your job, and then all the things are
coming to that you are a mother, you are a wife, you are company means you are looking after sales. You are looking after social responsibility. You are looking after your studies. I know that you are also in with your friends.
Yeah, because I am very social. Yeah.
Yes, you are also in with your friends. So means I am now confused. Do you have 24 hours or you have more?
No, I have 24 hours, and apart from that, I maintain a very good regime of morning walk. I do yoga, and I have a dance class in the evening. So I do everything because I have to keep myself healthy.
Now 3 things have been added more, means now you have 9 things to take care.
Right. I think that's what I said. I mean, see, everything is fine. Everything apart from doing, you have to take care of ourselves, because no one will tell you do this.
Right.
So we have to do that. and again you have to keep yourself happy, you have to do what you want. So in that way I have to do work as well as maintain my relationship with friends, and of course family is first, so family also you have to maintain. So I think yeah, you have to have a very strong
so
planning.
I appreciate that, means planning must be there,
Right.
but do you divide a bucket or something that
I do. That's what I mean, you know, every moment, like I get up in the morning, I know I have to walk 1 hour. Then I have half an hour where I read paper and some morning I take jeera water and all those things in the morning. So that I do. And then I know I have to do yoga. So around 45 minutes. Then I start with my, luckily I don't have to prepare breakfast because my husband does that.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so he does that. I prepare usually the dinner when I'm at home, but he does the breakfast. So after that, I start with my office work. So mostly the afternoon goes like that, and I think yeah, whenever there is kind of a festival coming up again, those kind takes. So it depends on what you prioritize and what you deprioritize. So it's not that every day everybody will have the same routine. But again, I'm very bad in social media. So I used to do a lot of Facebook before. Now I'm nowhere. So you'll not find me because I don't get the time there. So that might be a reason, because I have seen people spending a lot of time in Insta and Facebook.
Once you start seeing that reels where the 2 hours goes, you don't know. So, and it is very bad.
Right. So, and I have also left my reading habit, which I used to have before. So now I read my books, but not the story books and the things. And I even don't time. Probably that is also one more thing. So I now don't go to watch movies, but the reels, the OTTs, which are more easier and things. So yeah, I think people compromise in one way. So, but I enjoy doing what I am. So I'm not saying that I'm missing out on those. I'm very much active on LinkedIn, which is most of the professional thing. So I do follow social media, but on the LinkedIn side, not maybe on the Facebook, Insta side. So it's a kind of a balance. I think it's important what you enjoy.
Right. So, coming to next question I have. So do your yoga, walking, meditation help you plan everything or be organized? It is helping?
I think because I think, you know, yoga helps you a lot in, first of all, well-being. Like as a whole, I mean, you might not take it as an exercise or kind of weight loss, but I think as a mental health, which is now required, like everybody, because we are always under stress of work, kids, home, everything. So I think that helps you to meditate, and also like it happens sometimes even for me that I'm overwhelmed with, I don't know which way to go, but then I take 2 minutes of my time and think which one I need to prioritize, because you cannot do everything together. Then you have to kind of prioritize. It makes you more patient. I'll tell, I have become more patient along I mean, with my kids, as I feel I used to scold them and I used to do that, but now I feel I'm more patient with them. First try to understand, okay, there must be a reason why he has done that, understanding those. So I think yoga is one of the things which actually grooms you for a better living. Is what I feel. Yeah, walking and everything has to be there, because with age you need to take care. Otherwise, there are a lot of things which have come up for everyone, like sugar. We are all on the borderline that. So that's how I believe that we need to keep ourselves healthy before taking care of others. And you feel confident also. I think you internally you get a confidence that you are doing. So I'm always on that. So I'm very active.
So specifically what you are doing in yoga?
So actually I have an online thing which I think. So I know yoga because I have been doing on and off, but I think I kind of repeat myself. So now I have an online support where I have registered myself. So they have like every day 45 minutes. So they do everything like exercise, meditation, Surya Namaskar. So every
full package. So every day you do yoga?
Yeah, except Sundays.
Except Sundays. 6 days in a week.
6 days in a week.
And walking all 7 days?
All 7 days, yeah. That's like I have become I mean, it's a regular thing for me. If I don't walk, I feel, oh, I have not done
so. You are also in that you have to walk 10,000 steps or something?
Not like that. Like I
Okay.
never kept a thing like I have to do.
Okay, 1 hour you have to
1 hour I usually walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what?
And that too, sometimes it might happen that I'm traveling, I couldn't do. But
Okay.
if I'm at home, I do. And if I'm traveling, I make sure I do something on the treadmill in the hotel I
Okay.
stay. So some kind of
Means activity is
activities.
always there.
Yeah.
Means it's good.
Yeah.
Means it's give you a zeal to
Right,
do.
because I travel, I eat a lot out. So that is, if you're
Right.
at home, you can control your
Control
food,
your food,
but
right.
not when you're outside. So you eat a lot of junk stuff and all those.
Right.
But still, I try to control. But you know, when you have client dinner and all those, you just cannot say no. I don't want to eat. I want to eat that. So that's how. I mean, whenever I'm at home, I'm on very strict diet.
Okay. So means, are you spiritual?
I am. Yeah.
Spirituality?
Yeah. So I believe in God and I do puja at home every day.
Any specific God do you believe, or you believe in
I
God
think
is one?
I believe, again, I mean, I'm a Hindu, but I believe, but I have good faith in Christianity as well. So, you know, because I have been, maybe I studied in Catholic school. So, so I visit churches, I go to temples, not anything particular, but of course, Ma Durga is one of them because I get that strength of doing, you know. So I'm very, I mean, people actually see me in one way when I'm outside in the professional life, but if you see me on those 5 days, I'm very different. So I feel that also is one strength I get, that you can destroy all the evil, and I believe that. But apart from that, also I have all kind of, I don't have somebody particular in that thing. I've gone to Tirupati more than 10 times, so I believe in Balaji, the thing. So yeah,
God is one.
God is one.
Yeah, means it is not specific that no, I will.
No, it's
be
not
here.
like that. As I said, both Hindu and Catholic, I'm not very specific. You know, for me, it's somebody I gain a kind of get strength from. So you know, every person gets.
Yeah, you are
strength from
visiting
something.
abroad also quite frequently, so it might be there you can visit church and everything.
I mean, it's everything. God is somebody who gives the strength for you to do. I mean, we do by our own willpower. So that's actually God is, I feel, in that way. We ask something so that our willpower gets better off. So I feel
means
like that.
when I see you in Durga Puja, you are entirely a different person.
Exactly.
Means all the time you are wearing sari with means
and you do that. I mean, we keep fast for so long time. So those things, I think that actually comes with the time. I don't know. I mean, you
means
just,
as we say that goddess Durga is itself, she is the powerhouse of everything.
Right.
So means you can get, means you are getting the power
from there. That's what I feel, that I mean, if you worship her, you might get, I mean, good things happen for you. So
means I am believing that you have 18 hands. Because you are doing so many things. So now I believe that you have 18 hands. So means looking at you and looking women like you, means we get inspired. Telling you very frankly, we get inspired that yes, means if there is a portrait of goddess Durga with 18 hands and some or the other thing symbolizing, okay, so it's the same thing. If we portray you with laptop, with kitchen accessories, with puja accessories and everything.
So I like to cook also. I mean, that is also,
that's what I'm telling you.
So I actually call people, I mean, and my husband will always say, no, we'll order. I said, no, we'll cook. So because I love to cook and I love to feed people. So that is also one thing, but means currently I'm not getting time much. But that is also one of my, I like to do gardening, because that also is one thing which gives me, you know, when you see the flowers blooming, that gives you a sense of achievement. Yeah, so those are kind of stress busters, I feel, because you know, when you have a lot of things on your mind, I think you have to divide your time in these small things.
So since you are spiritual, so I just want to ask you one question which I frequently ask, because this is a very new question in my mind recently. So do you ever thought what happens after death? Means ever did you get time to think any such thing?
That's what I mean. I have read about life after death and second birth and all those, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think, and that's personal to myself. I feel it's one birth. It's nothing called second birth or whatever.
Okay.
But that's what I feel, that whatever we need to do, we have to do in this birth.
This
I mean, you
life,
will not
yeah.
get
Second chance.
second
Yeah.
chance, and that's how I believe you have to live. You have to live today.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if there is a tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah,
I live
right.
like that, so I don't. I
Okay.
should not have in my mind anything I couldn't do.
Okay.
So I think sometimes people think it's a selfish thing, but I feel, see, we have a limited time, and we don't know whether we are, because that's again a question, right? A
Right.
second birth or rebirth, what I'll do. I feel that whatever we need to do, we need to do now.
Right.
So
living in the present is the best
thing, I think. I mean, whatever you do, your achievement, you are not doing, you are changing yourself, do good to people, all on the same birth, not on the next birth.
Not on the next births. But I have met so many, and maximum people I have met, and their answer is the same: that live in the present. You don't know about future,
Right.
and regretting about the past means you will not get anything. So
Right.
be in the present.
Right.
So
So one thing is, I mean, you will see in my WhatsApp status. So I think, I mean, this thing is like, the best is yet to come, because if you think you have reached whatever you are, then you will not do anything. You will be
Right.
relaxed. But for me, I feel no, I am still to reach wherever the best has not yet come. So I have still
Right.
to do. And one more thing which I feel is, zindagi mein na milegi dobara. So it is like you will not get the same time. So
Right.
you will regret if you don't do it today. You will
Yeah.
regret
Right.
because you, again, as a own person, I would say that you have a family, you have your kids, you have your husband. So everybody has. So what you're doing for yourself.
Right.
So lately I've started thinking that, and before I used to feel, no, I'm becoming selfish. But I feel, no, a little bit selfishness is required.
That's
the more you give, the more expectation will be there from you.
Right. That's what means there is a regret in every mother. I will tell you this. Means if she is working, she is at a regret that I am not giving time to my family, my kids. If she is at home, she is regretting that if I would have been in the field, my future would have been something different. I am not doing justice to myself.
Right.
So striking a balance is the best thing you can do.
Right.
Sarah?
Yeah, the mantra is switch off and switch on. Just on and off.
Okay,
you
and
cannot,
what's that?
I mean, you cannot take, you have to as I said, you have to prioritize your whatever you are doing. So today I may be studying for my exam. Okay, next week I don't have that. I have something else, some office work coming up. I was all the while traveling last week, so I didn't do study anything.
Right.
So that's what I said. I mean, whichever prioritize, you have to prioritize which is coming up. Of course, some things, as I said, I have a to-do list. You cannot do everything together. So remember to finish that before the day.
Right.
I don't believe in tomorrow, so I know whatever to do I have to do today. So before I go to bed, I know I have to finish these many things. So if you have a structured kind of thing, I think it happens. Because sometimes I feel, we feel, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Forget it. Today is over. Tomorrow I'll do. But tomorrow never comes. So I think I tell the same thing to my kids. Like, don't keep anything for tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come. Do it today. I mean, you will finish it. Hardly it will take you 5 minutes. But I think these are gained by experience. So over the time. Because I was also kind of doing everything, but from small only I was kind of very in that way. I used to keep timetable, like I used to study from 9 to 10, I'll do play from here. So that was, I think, in my thing, I used to maintain a timetable, which I now do a to-do list. So in that way.
So do you also have a bucket list?
Oh, okay. Yes, I do have.
Because
I have, I like to travel, as I said, and I mostly move to business development because I know I would get a chance to travel. And I don't get very out of travel. Like people will say, oh, I have to again go. I don't get that. Because, our travel requires, you will miss flight. You will have to going to an all new place altogether. You don't know what it is, how the hotel will be. All those uncertainties are there. I don't get bogged by those. I'm all okay to travel. Open the suitcase, close the suitcase. So, and my more intention is to, motivation for that is to see new place. That is one of my bucket lists. And not only abroad, India. So I keep on, most of the India also I have seen. I mean, we make it a point that go somewhere. Last time we went to Rajasthan. I went to Gujarat. I mean, the exotic places. Outside also I have seen, thanks to my job. So I think that is one of my bucket list. Second is, I think, cooking is one of my thing which I want to do. I mean, during the COVID times, actually, that was very good. Like, you were whole day sitting at home, and even kids wants to eat food, right? So you have to make. Yeah, I do have, like, but again, I am not much into those. Well, I wish I could. I wish I could sing. I'm not a very good singer, but I mean, like to listen to music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're learning or something? Anything you're doing, sort of?
For music? No, I don't do. I mean, as you have been also in Calcutta. You have known their culture. We do everything.
Yeah, right.
Starting from dancing, singing, drawing. We are trained in everything.
Yes. Means art is the most important part of the life. Yeah.
So we are jack of all trade, master of none. So, but end of the day, I tried. I actually learned singing, I think, up to 4th year classical.
Okay.
But then because of studies and all, I left. But I couldn't. I'm not a good singer. I know. So
you said that you are learning dance. Means which dance form you are learning right now?
That's like just for the exercise.
Okay.
So
Zumba.
It's a Bollywood. Yeah, Zumba and Bollywood kind of a mix. It's just for exercise and shredding and all. I mean, that's again on online, because most of the time I travel.
Yeah.
So I started doing here, going on physically, which was not possible. So I do it online again.
Okay. So great. Means I don't, now I have forgotten how many things you are into. Means, but I know you have 18 hands. Lots of work, and
I think it's important to keep busy.
No, you are busy. That's good, and you are striking a balance between everything. Means you are enjoying your work because you love to travel as well. So it is coming hand in hand for you.
Right.
So you are enjoying it. Means it's not that it is a burden for me. And no. So
I think I would say to everybody, if it's a burden, you should not do it. It should not happen. Oh, I'm getting up in the morning, I have to go to the office. I hate that. I mean, in my career up to 22 years, I never had that challenge of why I'm doing this. I have changed because of that. I have changed, and because again I get bored very soon. So if I know, okay, I have done this, again I have to do something else. So I never face that boredom of having that job just for the
Monday blues.
No Monday blues. I always was all fine going to work. Yeah.
So Sarah, it was lovely talking to you. Means I got to know you more, and
thanks for calling me, because I also spoke so much about myself.
I am so happy, means after this podcast, that I have learned a lot of things. Means I have new goals. I'm really happy that I have new goals. I think that I'll be starting some or the other thing new.
Good.
So you have
happy
initiated,
that I could inspire someone.
Yeah, means you have initiated that thing in me. So really, it was great having you here.
Of course. I mean, whatever you asked me was so relevant to what I do. And of course, no one asks you, right? I mean, they know me, but of course, when you get a chance to talk about yourself, is always very interesting, and we'll meet again.
I would like you to address the new moms as well as the working moms. Means anything you want to tell them so that it can encourage them for for their motherhood journey. It can be helpful and encouragement for them.
Right. I think for all the new moms, whether it's working or non-working or whatever, I mean, you would also agree with me. We have to mentally take it for granted that there will be lots of ups and downs in their life. Like, I mean, you don't know what's coming up with a kid, right? I mean, he can be good this day, and tomorrow he or she can be very sick. So we have to accept ourselves that to face those kind of challenges, to keep ourselves happy, because until we are happy, we cannot keep the kid happy. Which I felt, because when I was experiencing and going through that period, I used to become very upset. I used to go in depression. Oh my God, he's not eating, or he's today he's falling sick, and tomorrow he's having fever. But I think it's very regular. I mean, so accept all the challenges which comes in your way, because the kid, again, when he grows, gives a lot of different experiences.
Right.
But don't forget yourself, pamper yourself, keep yourself happy, do the small things of going to the parlor, pampering, because kid is always there. So keep a balance between yourself and the kid. So I think keeping mentally happy is what we need to do as a new mom.
Yeah. Such a good message. Means really, I appreciate it. And thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming to our podcast. It was great having you here.
Thank you, and lovely talking to you, Namrata.
Thank you.